I'm Jad, and as Andrew mentioned, I'm the Bradford District Chairman. A lot of you people today may know who I am, so welcome to Bradford. Or as they say in Bradford, welcome to Bradford. Well, as a Bradford Chairman, I'm just going to give you a bit of a brief history of the Bradford branch, where it's come. We started off as nothing, and until this is where we are today. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a highlights package of what we've achieved and where we are. In 2004, I was drawn to UKIP because of the libertarian principles of UKIP and the freedom democracy. So I came into UKIP. I joined UKIP in Bradford, and at that stage, the Bradford branch at that time was, let's say, it was on life support. So we needed to do something. So I had a good team at that time, a few people, and we said to ourselves, well, how do we do this? We've got the fourth biggest metropolitan in the country here. We've got big potential. How do we move things forward? So we gave the branch a shot and brought it back to life. And how we did that is, we thought, we've got to get out there and promote UKIP. We've got to get out there and speak to the people, help the people, and promote UKIP as a party. Tell people what we stand for, and that's what we did. So the first thing that we looked at, and if you look around the city, there's a lot of problems. Andrew alluded to them earlier. There's a lot of problems in Bradford. One of the big things in Bradford's the national film capital of the UK, so we've got that going for us. We have an iconic cinema, which is only 5 minutes away from this building, which the council, in their wisdom, and the regeneration people decided, let's bulldoze this cinema, the oldest cinema of its kind in the country. Got a lot of history. All the parties said, yeah, that's a good idea, we'll go for that. But one party said no, one party said, we're not going to have this. We'll stand with the people. And that party was UKIP. We went out into the media and we said, let the people decide on this issue. As a democratic party, give the people a choice. We called for a referendum on this issue in Bradford. And we got the councillors and the party leaders in this town scurrying around in the media, going down and grovelling and trying to explain themselves to the media. And essentially their answer was, we don't think the people deserve to have a voice. We know better than the people. Well, this is where we are. In 2013, this iconic cinema is still there. And it's not there because of Labour, the Conservatives or the Lib Dems. It's there because of UKIP. So that put us on the map, both regionally and nationally. This was a big issue. So this is what we're saying is, as a small group of people, as a small branch, you can make a difference. And the perception is that we're a huge branch. So we kept on with this. Amjad talked about the huge crater in the centre of Bradford. Basically, they decided they had this big project, we'll build a shopping centre. They bulldozed a big portion of the city centre, left a huge crater, and they was going to build a shopping centre. They didn't actually bother to sign anyone up for this shopping centre. They had no people ready to move in. They didn't have the money to push it forward. So it fell down and collapsed. All the councillors, oh, it's not our fault, it's the economic crisis. We stood up and said, it is your fault. You're the most incompetent people going. There's a lot. I'm sure there's a lot of incompetent councils around the country. I'm sure you people from outside Bradford know these councils. But I'll tell you, you'd be hard pressed to find one that's worse than Bradford. So I said, hold on a minute. So I called up the Yorkshire Post and said, hold on a minute, what's going on? So we had an interview. I was in the Yorkshire Post and said, that regeneration chief, we need to get these people fired. What are they doing? What are they playing at? And interestingly enough, and I don't know, this may be just a coincidence, who knows, but only a month after, the regeneration chief resigned. And it wasn't Labour, it wasn't the Conservatives, it wasn't the Lib Dems, it was UKIP. The other thing that you may be aware of, the people that come from outside Bradford, we've got the big issue of the HS2 train, which is a phenomenally expensive business, billions of pounds, which will show no benefits, certainly for people in the north. It'll just allow people to go to the south a lot quicker and take our skills to the south a lot quicker. But there is one thing in Bradford, in this area that would benefit us. We have 2 stations. People have come in on public transport, maybe where we have 2 stations. There's a proposal in Bradford from a Bradford Rail Users Group, the Crossrail proposal. All the other parties have said, no, we don't want this, but yet they're supporting this £1 billion HS2. What we're saying is, forget these billions of pounds of wasted money, let's put a small percentage of that, put a few £1 million into this Crossrail, which will benefit the district, will tie up the district and help business and help regenerate the city. So again, we were the only people who supported this. All the other parties have said, no, not interested, you know, it's not a big issue. But again, UKIP's leading on this. So these are the things that we've been doing, and every campaign we've done, everything, we've got media attention, we've got people's interest, and we've got members, and we've got supporters. People coming saying, well, I didn't know about UKIP, but I agree with that. And this is where we are. And last week, only last week, you may be aware this has been a national issue. There was a lady in Haworth, which is on the outskirts of the district. She was walking 2 of her dogs. She was walking the dogs on the moors, the dogs ran off. There's a long story, but long story short, this farmer rescued the dogs, says, I'll take them to the authorities, and you know, we'll get them, you know, sent back to their owners. Anyway, the farmer took these dogs into his farm barn and executed these dogs and shot these dogs in the head. So there's been a big outcry in the city about this. But who's supporting this woman? I wonder if you know what to guess. It's UKIP. I had a photo shoot with this lady last week in Bradford outside the county court. This has now becoming a national campaign. We have a petition, tougher sentences for animal abuse. It originated from our branch. It's now becoming a national issue. So this is something that we got involved with. As an animal rights person, it's something that I'm keen on myself. I got in touch with the lady, had a chat with her, and we're supporting her on this. So these are the things that we've been involved with. What I'm trying to say is, as a small branch, there are things that you can do, and campaigns are something that can have real traction, and it's something that brings people to us and shows UKIP as we're not just a single issue party. We're not just about the EU. If we want to win in anywhere in the country, you need to win locally first, and this is what we need to do, and this is what we are doing here. So that's a real bit of a highlight package of what we've done in Bradford and where we've come. But generally on Bradford, where we are in Bradford, well, Bradford has the highest unemployment rate in Yorkshire. But interestingly, and I don't think this is a coincidence, Bradford has the highest rate of immigration in Yorkshire. And we've already talked about the fact that we want controlled immigration, but we don't want unlimited immigration. This benefits nobody other than big business, because they can get nice cheap labour and all this kind of business. So this is the message that we've been saying around the district. In what people would call the old labour areas, the inner cities, we've been telling people this message. It's not just unlimited immigration, it's to do with regulation from the EU as well. But when you've got mass unemployment, it impacts people's lives. And these old Labour people, they're never going to vote Tory in a million years. But what they're doing is, they're looking at UKIP. And what we're finding in these areas, the staunch old Labour areas, they're voting UKIP, but we are now the second choice in these areas. So that's interesting. So all this spin in the media, oh, it's all old Tories, nothing to worry about. This is not the case. In the inner cities, we're taking as many votes from the old Labour as we're taking from the Tories. So that's an important point. But if we look at the outskirts of Bradford, the district, we've got the more affluent areas. We have an issue there of destruction of greenbelt and wind turbines, something that UKIP campaign for across the country, and we've been campaigning there as well. This is an area where Tories, they think they'll rule forever. I was told the other year by a Tory councillor that we could put our dog up in these areas and they'd get elected. Anything with a blue rosette will get elected. Well, a few years ago that was true, but now this is a different ball game. We've now got involved with the biggest wind farm group in the district. We're working alongside them, and in virtually every single area on the outskirts of Bradford district, where they've got these wind turbine issues, people are flocking to UKIP. We are the only opposition on this issue. And the Tories, where they were before, they were saying, oh, there's no problem, we'll win, we don't even have to bother campaigning. Now, we're the second choice. Here's a good example of where we are in Bradford. In an area there where I live on the outskirts, it's a strong Tory area. It's always been Tory. The Labour will never get in there in a million years. We were 100 votes off winning last year, 25% of the vote. We'll get a councillor there next year. That's a fact. And not only will we return a councillor in this area, but we will be the first branch in Yorkshire to return a councillor in the inner cities, in the big cities in the UK. And I think that's very important. But so what we're saying is, in this area where I live, it's a strong Tory area, we're going to win that. But in the area next door, only next door, it's a strong Labour area. Labour have always held this seat. The Tories were in the last election, the Tories were in second place, we were in third. We were a few hundred votes behind the Tories, we were out of the game. Within one election, we overturned the Tories' vote, and we're now a few hundred votes in front of the Tories in second place in a Labour ward. So this is the message. It doesn't matter who you are, if you're Tory, Labour, Lib Dem, well, there's no more Lib Dems anyway, is there? They're finished out there, really. But let's just imagine, for argument's sake, they did still exist. You know, it doesn't matter, it's all about UKIP. You know, whatever, if you're an old Labour and you're concerned about your job, it's UKIP. If you're Tory and you're patriotic, you want to protect this country, you're concerned about immigration, it's UKIP. If you're a Lib Dem, and there's still some about maybe, if you're a Lib Dem, and you're a Libertarian, well, you know, they're not Libertarian anymore, it's UKIP. So this is where we are, wherever it is in the district, we are the challenger. But there's one area where we need to do more. And you may know this area yourself, it's Bradford West. We've got a high-profile person who's been there recently. He calls himself a superstar. He calls himself rock and roll. Well, it might be rock and roll, but not in the right way. But this is the point. We're going to take this chap on. We're going to take him on with the help of my friends Amjad and Majid. We're going to take him on in his own areas. Because when we're speaking to these communities, unlimited immigration affects everybody. And especially in the inner cities, they're affected more than most. So we're going to take him on. We've already taken George Galloway on. I've been at Bradford University. I've even been one-on-one on Al Jazeera with George Galloway. So you know the Lib Dem, the Labour and the Conservatives, they won't challenge George Galloway. The only people that'll fight him is UKIP. So that has to say something. So what we're going to do, we're going to take him on. And George Galloway, to be fair, he's a very charismatic man. You know, he's a good speaker. But what we've realised is he's a very, very bad leader. He's got no leadership qualities. He's a bit of a dictator, and he doesn't understand policy. If you ever debate with George Galloway, bring up policy, hasn't got a clue. Hasn't got a clue. So, here's the news. The councillors in Bradford, the Respect councillors, most of them have resigned now. George Galloway's been a bit of a dictator, you know, you'll do it my way or no other way, so they said, well, we'll do it another way then. So they've all gone. So from having this big splash and this big Bradford spring, it's all fallen down now. His councillors are all independent. So there's a big gap in the market there, and I think that gap is going to be filled by UKIP. And as I say, we'll be working alongside with our colleagues to get UKIP in these areas and to spread the message to all communities in UKIP that the things that affect us, what things we've been talking about today, things such as political correctness, unlimited immigration, things to do with business regulation, these affect everybody. It's not just one section of the community, this is everybody. George Galloway's let people down, so we're going to come in there. So the message is, to everybody, no matter where you are in the country, the challenger is UKIP. So, and finally, before I just wrap up, I'd like to personally thank Amjad Bashir and Majid Bouza for putting on this event in our city. It's the biggest event that we've ever had in Bradford, to be honest. So I'd like to thank him personally for that. And I know Amjad well, and I know this won't be the last of these events that Amjad puts on. And what we need to do in UKIP, it's all well and good fighting on the outskirts in the little villages, but if we want to win as a party, if we want to increase our membership, and if we want to become electable in parliamentary elections, we need to win in the big cities of Leeds, Bradford, Sheffield. That's where we need to win, and that's where we need to put the focus. And I thank Amjad for putting this event. Thanks very much.